what are the objectives of machine learning? Okay, this particular syllabus is defined keeping these objectives in the mind. Okay, so what are those objectives are? Okay, to introduce some of the concepts and techniques that are related to machine learning. Okay, since this subject is the first one which you are studying, related to machine learning, so we have to give some concepts and techniques that is related to the machine learning and understand learning and decision trees. Okay, learning, I hope some of you have attended artificial neural network class. You will be having an idea what is exactly the learning is. Okay, apart from that, we are also going to learn about decision trees. What is the role of decision trees in machine learning? Apart from that, you are going to acquire the knowledge of neural networks, Bayesian techniques, and instance-based learning. Okay, and understand analytical learning and reinforced learning. So this was the objective on which this particular syllabus is framed. What is more important for you guys is course outcomes. If possible, please take a screenshot of this. This is very important for you. Okay, outcomes always matter for students especially. So what are the outcomes is, by the end of this course, after the completion of this course, students are able to understand the core concepts of machine learning, and they will be able to analyze the mathematical relationships within and across the machine learning algorithms. Okay, the roles of machine learning algorithms is one of the outcome, and you will be able to explain the paradigms of supervised as well as unsupervised learning. Okay, and you are capable of recognizing a real world problem where you can apply the techniques of machine learning to solve that particular problem. Okay, these are the four outcomes you can expect out of this machine learning course. Okay, so please take a screenshot if it is possible. Okay, otherwise anyhow I'll share the PPT so that you can have a look at the outcomes. Okay, right. Coming to the textbooks, I've already orally explained to you that machine learning is machine learning by Tom Mitchell. Okay, McGraw-Hill Education 2013 edition is the one from which your syllabus is framed. Apart from that, you can refer so many other textbooks like Introduction to Machine Learning, Elements of Statistical Learning. Okay, so these are some of the other references, as well as many web links are also available. Okay, so you can refer to those for additional information. Okay, right. What are the prerequisites you might require for this machine learning? Is a bit of probability and statistics is required, not into a deepest level. We require some basic knowledge about what is probability, and some of the statistical calculations or expressions. If you have programming skills like Python, it is an added advantage. And algorithm design, basically, since you're already into algorithm design in many other subjects, here also it is the same. Okay, so that basic knowledge is actually required. So these are the actual requisites which have come across for you guys to learn machine learning. Okay, coming to the syllabus content, first chapter is all about introduction and learning techniques. Okay, second one is about decision tree and ANN. Okay, artificial neural networks. Third one is Bayesian algorithm related concepts and computational learning. Fourth one is instance based learning and learning set of rules. And fifth one is analytical learning and reinforced learning. Okay, these are the 5 modules which is there in your syllabus. Now we will move on to the first module, which is learning. Regarding the syllabus, I have already discussed in detail in the previous class. Okay, now coming to the introduction. Why machine learning? What is the importance of machine learning? Okay, you need to understand. Ever since when the computers were invented, we have wondered whether they might be able to learn. Okay, or can we make them to learn some things which we wanted them to perform? Okay, if we could understand how to program them to learn and to improve automatically with the experience, the impact would be dramatic. Okay, that is what happening today. Okay, So your machines are capable of understanding the algorithms, whatever the knowledge you are going to give to them, and they can perform independently for you. Okay, like your robotics. Okay, your robots, a programmed robot will perform its activity with so much of precision, accuracy. Okay, that is what machine learning is. Okay, one such example is, imagine the computers learning from medical records which treatments are most effective for new diseases. Okay, just imagine the things, how good it is if your computers are capable of performing some actions which doctors can do with the help of medical records. Here, the medical records is the data which is actually required. Okay, huge amount of data, in fact, is actually required for your computer to learn and to provide the proper output. Okay, so your medical records acts as a data. Okay, so data mining is what we need to do, right? So houses learning from experience to optimize energy cost based on the particular usage patterns of their occupants. Just imagine how good it is. Okay, automated homes, you have come across so many projects, concepts, IoT subjects and all. Okay, so if your house itself can take some of the actions, and if it is going to optimize the energy, then cost will also be reduced, energy efficiency will also be there, and that is dependent on that particular occupant. It is not a generalized one, it is dependent on the particular occupant, so that that occupant will also get convinced. Okay, there will be no inconvenience, right? These are all some of the examples. And personal software assistants learning to evolving interest of their users in order to highlight especially relevant stories from the online morning newspaper. That is already actually happening. In fact, the time when the author has written this textbook, it was just a concept. Now it is a reality. For example, if I Google something related to the sports, okay, then everywhere in my browser, wherever I see, the ads will be related to the sports. Okay, that is because of machine learning. Okay, so if I search some product in one of the e-commerce site, then my ads in the entire website, I mean wherever I go in the internet, the ads will be relevant to the product which I have searched. Okay, so which will provoke me to purchase that one in one or the other e-commerce site. So that is what machine learning is actually doing today, based on the user's interest. Okay, so it will keep on telling us where that actual product is available. Okay, or such kind of information is available. That is what machine learning is all about. Okay, you might have already experienced this also. And your mails, whatever the mails, especially the promotions you are going to get, will be relevant to the one which you have searched. Okay, so that is how the machine learning has done today, and it is doing today. Okay, so this is about machine learning and some of the examples, especially the successful applications of machine learning. Okay, learning to recognize spoken words, right? Your Alexa and all. Okay, whatever you say, it will recognize your voice, and based on that, it is going to assist you. Okay, if you ask it to turn on a fan, it will turn on. If you ask it to turn on a refrigerator, it will turn it on. If you ask it to turn on a TV, it will do that. You ask whatever. If your devices are capable of getting connected with that Alexa, that kind of personal assistant is going to help you in your homes. Okay, that is what learning to recognize the spoken words. Okay, so that is one of the real-time applications. Okay, learning to drive an autonomous vehicle, this is still under process, and a few companies have successfully conducted the experiment also, but before coming into the market, some more testing and real-time experience is actually required. Okay, autonomous vehicles is nothing but without a driver, if your vehicle can take you wherever you want. Okay, that is what autonomous vehicle. Soon it is going to be a reality also. Okay, learning to classify new astronomical structures. Every now and then we will be seeing that. Okay, NASA, ISRO, and all doing so many research in these things. Okay, and classifying those kind of newly identified structures can also be done with the help of machine learning. Okay, learning to play world class backgammon, which is nothing but Nowadays you can have a look at the games that has been popular games. It is available as a uh, video games or something like that, where your computer can play with you with so much of difficulty level also. Okay, so that is where the machine learning is useful. Okay, these are some of the examples where we can find the applications of machine learning. Apart from that, there are many other areas also which you can recognize. Okay, that is one of the outcome of our particular course. By the end of this course, you will be in a situation to identify where you can bring machine learning in order to improvise that particular area or domain. Okay, right. Why is machine learning important? Very important. Why it is important? Okay, some task cannot be defined well except by examples. Okay, so this is where machine learning is important. What is the meaning of some task cannot be defined well except by examples? Is nothing but, if I give a knowledge for a machine, for example, the biometric punch what we have in our college for the faculty. Okay, already I have given a sample to that, my face as well as a fingerprint. It will be kept as a database by that machine. So next day when I come and when I stand in front of it, it is going to recognize me and it will consider my attendance. Okay, so that is by an example. What is that example? I have already previously given a sample. Okay, that this is so and so faculty from so and so department. Okay, next day when I come, it is going to search its database and it will give an output that so and so person has been recognized and the attendance has been recorded. Okay, so task is performed with the help of examples. It is not something autonomous. As soon as I come and stand in front of it, it is not going to tell me who I am, but we have to give a sample to that. That is what examples is. Okay, kind of supervised learning. Okay, so we have already learned, few of you have attended the artificial neural network course also. They can be able to identify supervised and unsupervised. Supervised means we have to give a knowledge in prior. Okay, so that is nothing but examples, right? Next, relationship and correlations can be hidden within large amount of data. Okay, where machine learning or data mining may be able to find these relationships. Okay, so just understand, relationships and correlations can be hidden inside. Okay, for example, whenever I start browsing the internet. Okay, usually I start searching for uh, related to the sports as well as some information related to today's news and all. Okay, so what will be kept inside my browser is, it will keep a relationship that in this personal computer, when so and so person has got logged in, his interest will be related to sports as well as today's news. Okay, so this information will be stored, which will be kept hidden. Okay, large amount of data is every day I will be start browsing the similar kind of data. That is going to be the large amount of data. Every time the data will be, from the data the information will be taken. My interest will be recorded. Okay, so later on, whenever the browser or the internet has to provide me the advertisements, all those will be related to my interest. Okay, that is where the relationships and correlations can be kept. Okay, user is Suprit, his interest is sports and news. Sports and news is kept as an hidden data by the algorithm inside. So whenever I log in, it can easily recognize me, or whenever it sees my ID, it can easily say that okay, this user is searching for so and so information from so many days. Okay, probably he is going to search the same thing today also. So my search items as well as the ads which I am going to get will be relevant to what I have already searched. My interest is hiddenly kept by the algorithm inside it. Okay, based on that information will be fetched. Okay, and human designers often produce machines that do not work as well as desired in the environments in which they are used. Okay, sometimes this is also possible. Okay, so the design may not provide a fruitful results or desired outcomes in the environment where we are supposed to use that. There we have to go for machine learning concepts. Okay, the amount of knowledge available about certain tasks might be too large for explicit encoding by humans, especially medical diagnostic. Okay, so one better example, probably in the previous class also I spoke about that while discussing in general. Medical diagnostics is nothing but every day so many number of people will go to the hospital for different types of tests. Okay, medical test. Okay, one such example is blood glucose level. Okay, blood sugar levels. Right. So while recording or giving such kind of data, if your computer should, if it is capable of acquiring the knowledge related to that, for example, age of a person who has gone for testing. Okay, so what is this blood glucose level, what is this BP, okay, at what age he got diabetes. So all this relevant information, if it is stored by the computer, just imagine per day in all the hospitals in the Bangalore itself, in and around, if I take an example, very least example, if I take, if around 5,000 people get their test done only related to the diabetes, okay, per day, it's a very crude example, okay, crude numbers I have taken. 5,000 people are getting tested for diabetes, especially blood glucose level. Okay, how many of them have found diabetes? True and false. Two categories can be made. Some of them will be having higher blood glucose levels, comes under true category. Those who are having a normal blood glucose level comes under false category. Okay, so just let me say that 3,000 found to be true or positive and 2,000 are negative out of it. This is 1 day statistics. 1 day. Just imagine if this can be done for 100 days, how much amount of data? 3,000 into 100, 2,000 into 100. These many number of samples are already available with the machine. What are all the information that it is having? What is the age of a person? What is his blood glucose level? What is his BP? At what age he got diabetes, or whether he has come first time? Okay, what are his previous health related concerns? Everything will be recorded. Based on that, next time when a person goes and if he just gives the information about his age and some other relevant information, your machine can be able to say the possibility that a person is diabetic or not will be very high. Okay, so but this cannot be done by the humans. Even though if we are having so much of amount of information, we cannot record everything. Okay, and it is very highly impossible for us to come to a conclusion, but your machines can come to that. Okay, that is what this particular point is all about. Okay, the amount of knowledge, the amount of knowledge available about certain task might be too large. Best example, too large, huge amount of information is available but no outcome from the human beings, but using the same amount of data we can do some machine learning algorithms. Okay, and also weather prediction, since environments change over the time, we can also do the prediction, weather prediction, with the help of this. And new knowledge about tasks is constantly being discovered by humans. It may be difficult to continuously redesign system by hand. Okay, every now and then whenever a new knowledge comes into picture, okay, so that has to be provided to the machine in order to have a good amount of learning for your machine. Okay, algorithm development basically, right? That is why machine learning is important. Areas which actually influence machine learning, okay, statistics. Yes, stock markets can be predicted with the help of machine learning. Okay, one of the areas where we can use machine learning. Okay, how best to use samples drawn from unknown probability distributions to help decide from which distribution some new sample is drawn. Okay, statistics. Stock market prediction can also be done in a similar way. Okay, looking at the performance of a particular stock from so many weeks or days, how it is going to perform for the next week can be predicted with the help of machine learning algorithms. Okay, brain models, which is nothing but artificial neural networks, will take help of machine learning. As I said, ANN, artificial neural network, as well as deep neural network are all part of machine learning. Okay, so those are the sub areas comes under machine learning. Okay, adaptive control theory. Whenever you come across adaptive in the sense it is not a constant. Looking at the scenario, it will try to adjust itself. That is called adaptive control theory. Electronic stability program, ESP, which is there in the automobiles, especially the cars. Okay, which will avoid the cars to get tilted in the turnings if it is moving at so much of speed. Okay, suddenly if there is a curve and if the driver is not able to bring down the speed to a minimum level, there is a possibility that your car may get flipped. Okay, so to avoid that, there is an electronic stability program which is adaptive in nature, looking at how much amount of pressure or turn amount of turn that is happening. Based on that, it will take an action. Okay, anti-lock braking systems are also a similar kind, adaptive in nature. Okay, psychology can also be one of the areas in which machine learning can be brought it. How to model human performance on various learned tasks. That is what psychology is. Okay. Artificial intelligence, which is similar to the brain models, where writing algorithms and acquiring the knowledge, humans are able to acquire at least as well as humans. That is where artificial intelligence comes into picture. Okay. Evolutionary models, every now and then new evolution will be happening. How to model certain aspects of biological evolution to improve the performance of computer programs. You might be thinking about what exactly the evolutionary models is. Okay, before 2019 we were not knowing about corona. Today in 2021 we have learned so much about a new virus called corona, and related to this huge amount of information is already available. Somebody has already started working. Some people might have already started working on learning the behavior of this corona, and they may come out with an exact model where it can predict. Okay, so who is going to get a corona, or how to avoid this spread of corona, or what is the intensity of this corona. Okay, so this is where the new arenas will come into picture. Okay, right. Machine learning definition, very very important. Okay, I want you guys to please make a note of this. A computer program is said to learn from experience. Okay, a program which is written in the computer is said to learn from the experience E. Experience is represented as capital E with respect to some class of tasks called T. Okay, some activity it is performing. There are group of activities. Let me say A1, A2, A3, and this group of activities is said to be T. Okay, and that particular task, if it is performing, and what is the experience it has gained by performing this amount of task, and performance measure P. After performing this task, what is the performance? Okay, if its performance at task in T as measured by P improves with experience E is said to be machine learning. Okay, let me simplify this. Your machine is performing a task T. Okay, by performing this task, okay, it is getting some experience called E. Okay, as it is keep on getting the experience, what is the improvement in P? That is what machine learning is all about. Task performance, by performing the task, what is the experience? After getting the experience, how the performance is getting improved. Of course, the performance in the very first task might not be very good, but after performing so many tasks and getting so much of experience, definitely the performance might have got improved. So TPE or ETP, you remember that a computer program gets its own experience by performing a class of task and getting its performance improved is called machine learning. Keep on performing the task, gain the experience. With that experience, improve the performance is what? Machine learning. Okay. Who is performing the task? Your machine is performing the task, and the algorithms written in that or the programs written in that will perform the task. Over a period of time, it can improve its performance because of the experience what it is gaining out of that task. That is called machine learning. Okay. So make a note of this definition. Okay. Right. So we have understood what is machine learning, why machine learning, what are the areas in which we can use machine learning, what is the actual definition of machine learning. We have understood. Next, why learn? Learning is very important. Okay. So why learn? Learning is used when humans' expertise does not exist. Okay, that's why we have to provide learning for the machines. Wherever a human learning is not at all available, then we can go for learning. One example is that navigating on the Mars. No human has experienced how it will be when they start moving around the Mars or moving in the on the Mars. Okay, so when we launch a robot or a satellite into it, how it has to perform there is unknown. That's why learning is actually required. And learning is actually required when humans are unable to explain their expertise. How to perform speech recognition. Okay, today, if someone who is very close to me, if they start talking over a phone or in front of me, okay, even I am blind, I mean, blind cuffed. If closing my eyes, I can even recognize who is that person is. How I did that is because I know the speech. I can recognize that speech. How I am able to recognize that, I don't have an answer. Since so many years I am listening, because of which I can recognize, but I don't understand how exactly it is happening. Okay, my brain is able to retrieve so and so voice belonging to so and so person. Okay, I don't have much explanation related to that. So here comes the speech recognition. What your machine will learn is it will try to understand the features that is there in the speech. It will try to understand the pattern that is present in the speech and it will try to learn. Okay, so that is where learning is actually required. Okay, solution changes in time. Okay, routing on a computer network. For example, sometimes dynamically some amount of information will be keep on changing. There, learning is actually required. What happens is in a network, computer network, let me say node 1, node 2, and node 3. Okay, here there is node 4, node 5, node 6, node 7, and from n to 3. Okay, if n1 has sent a data to n3, the possible shortest path is n1 to n2 and n2 to n3. Packet of data will start moving from n1 to n2 and n2 to n3. This is the actual shortest path and in which the communication can happen. In case if there is some mistake with node n2 and if it is not working, then the data from n1 cannot travel towards n2 or after n2 it cannot move further. So dynamically this n1 has to alter the path or the network has to take a suitable action so that data has to move. So it will identify that there is also a possibility, even though it is not shortest, but this path can send the amount of information from node n1 to n3. This is called dynamically taking the decisions. Okay, solution changes in time. Okay, routing on a computer network. This is a best example for you to understand where exactly learning is actually required. Okay. Next, solution needs to be adapted to a particular cases. Okay. Solutions are actually required at that particular time. Okay. Especially user biometrics. Okay. One more example is, we have not thought of lockdown from tomorrow. Just 15 days back, we were not even aware that corona cases might get increased to this much extent, and we were not aware that a lockdown might happen again. But today it is happening. What are all the solutions we have to, what are all the arrangements we have to make? We have made an arrangement to take online classes. Facility for that has been improved. Okay. And so many other tasks we have performed in order to take the online classes. Okay. Solution needs to be adopted. We have got adopted offline classes to online classes because this situation is forcing us to go for this. Even you guys are very much comfortable with offline classes, but even you have got adapted to online classes. So that is what adoption is all about. Okay. So this is where we require learning, right? So before identifying where exactly we require machine learning, we need to find a problem area, well posed problem areas, or well posed learning problem is what we need to identify. Okay. Definition says a computer program is said to learn from experience with respect to some class of task and performance P if its performance in that task is measured by P, and if it's getting improved over a period of time with experience E. Okay. In order to define a well-defined learning problem, three features needs to be identified. Okay. Make a note of these features. One is the type of task or class of task where there is learning required. You need to identify that. And when you identify that, you need to come out with a performance measure. What is the best performance metric for this task? Okay. You need to come out with that. And what is the experience that is going to be acquired with this task? Okay. You need to identify a task. You need to identify a performance measure to define that task, how good that has been performed or how bad that has been performed. You need to identify a performance measure, followed by what is the experience that can be gained out of that particular task. These are the three important parameters or features that has to be identified to define well posed learning problem. Okay.